felt it is in line with the changes in the department and in society in general that we allow the young people to speak for themselves. And so for this evening we have for the first time a valedictorian speaker, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce Ms. Noxie Nkamande as our first valedictorian speaker for the Mechanical Engineering Sciences Prestige Evening. And I hope you will give a very warm welcome.
Good evening. Wow! The end is nearing and we are finally here. Can you believe it? In isiZulu we say that okungapheli kuyahlolwa, meaning that everything comes to an end at some point. That point, of course, being the concluding stages of our careers as students and the beginning of a new and exciting phase outside of university. I cannot say it has been easy. You know, there has been some challenges, but it was worth it. Just to put things into perspective, roughly only 1 in every 3 students who start studying mechanical engineering actually finish. And that is ignoring the time it takes them to finish. Yeah, so that means that each and every single student sitting here tonight has managed to accomplish what many people couldn't accomplish, and they've managed to achieve what many others have only dreamt of achieving. In addition to that, they are contributing to making our country a strong, sustainable, and competent nation, because it is well known that engineers are the only professionals who have the ability to integrate materials and the forces of nature to improve the life of all of human beings. And that way, actually, they are the only species who actually drive the economy. While speaking to some of my colleagues about what they would say is the one thing that being engineering students here at UJ has taught them, these are some of their comments. They begged me not to mention their names. Life is not nice, so get used to it. Do everything on time to avoid stress. Just when you think you've got it all under control, disappointment is around the corner. So, keep your emotions in a small black box and never think of them again. People will always doubt the skills of a lady, particularly in an industry that is male-dominated. But just because people doubt you, that does not mean you should doubt yourself. Lastly, never put a time limit to your goals. Now that statement, put in simpler terms, means that you can plan to finish a degree in the stipulated 4 years, but fate might have you finishing in no less than 7. Now, that being said, personally for me, it has been quite a challenging journey. I remember days when the road ahead seemed so difficult and so impossible that I struggled to get out of bed to go to class. I would literally have to talk myself out of the state I was in, because as soon as I realized that it was time to go to class soon, I would whisper to myself, wake up, okay, take a bath, okay, get dressed, now walk. Remember to breathe, walk, until I reach my destination. Because I realized that no matter what happens, you have to get up, dress up, and show up. I also, of course, quite happily and treated recall the pride, satisfaction, and joy I felt as I completed construction and began testing on the solar water purifier unit that I did my project investigation on. That is the ultimate goal for any final year student. There's also been some awkward times in my studies when I was so desperate to get VEP work that I would set off on any free day that I had during the holidays with a bunch of copies of my CV in the car, and would stop at any engineering company that I came across along the East Rand and would beg the secretary to allow me a moment with the CEO so that I could convince them why they should offer me their growth. Because I was so persuasive, most of the times they did grant me an interview, even without an appointment, but they never really got back to me. But still I pressed on until somebody did. And that is what I can say I have learned from being an engineering student here. I have learned to persevere and to focus on the goal at hand, regardless of the odds against me or the number of people who do not believe in me. I have learned to be hard and strong, even in my femininity, because the world is harsh and nobody has much use for you if you do not produce the results when they are needed. But most importantly, I learned never, ever to throw in the towel, because there's always a third test to save the day. Evidently, none of us could be here today without the continuous and endless support, patience, and understanding of our parents, families, friends, girlfriends, and boyfriends. Whether it be emotionally or financially, you are always there to back us up. And I would like to take this moment to send a special thank you to all of you on behalf of myself and all my colleagues. Then, of course, there's the lecturers. Sometimes supportive, sometimes not so supportive, but always somewhat building, nurturing, and preparing. I'm not going to single out any specific individual encounters because I must still write my final exams so I don't want to upset anyone. Okay, on a serious note, if I had to sit here and just mention people who actually changed my life and shaped me, then we'd be here the whole night. So instead, I'm going to say thank you to each and every single one of you. You have been instrumental in shaping the kind of person that I am today, and the kind of engineer that I'll be in the community at large. And I'm sure that goes for everyone. Thank you to the Dean, to the Head of Department, and to all the technicians and staff members. None of this could have ever been possible without your assistance and your smiling faces. And then lastly, to all my colleagues. Reverend Randall McBride Jr. once said, "Success will not lower its standards at us. We must raise our standards to success." And that is what I want to leave you with this evening. That as you go into the world, you must use the knowledge and skills that you have acquired here to be responsible, reliable, accountable engineers who are always on time, always considerate of their impact on the environment, always aiming to enrich humankind, socially and economically, and always raising your standards of success. I thank you.
I started the evening by saying that in some small way I hope that we, as staff, changed, moulded, and developed the potential that we were presented with a few years ago. And I think that if you listen to Noxie speaking this evening and listen to what she said carefully, you would have realized that maybe in some small way the staff have done exactly what we set out to do a few years ago. This brings us to Professor Nurik. He's going to present some thanks and acknowledgements, and then we are complete for the evening. Thank you.
Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. We basically finished for the evening. I hope that you thoroughly enjoyed it. After what I've seen here tonight, there is absolutely no doubt that the graduates that this university is producing can compete with anywhere around the world. I just want to comment on our first valedictory speech. All I can say is congratulations. Excellent job.